you today?
Yes, I'm happy to see you. I'm here in heaven, and it seems like you are also in heaven.
I
Where are
am.
you?
I'm in the mountains of Pennsylvania, and I just built this yoga deck yesterday, so it's been super nice practicing on it.
Nice, very
Yeah.
nice. So we have today a short interview.
Ooh, short. What's that?
Yes, half an
Only two
hour.
hours? Perfect, perfect. So, so I have some questions for you. If you're ready, I will fire.
I'm always ready, you know that.
I like it. I like it. So I want to talk a bit about. I want to ask you about human ability. So one of the things that I'm noticing, like right now, maybe more than ever, is that people seem to like be losing their abilities, their capabilities, kind of like falling under. Like it's almost as if something's pushing them down. And I think that like right now we need to get out messages to help them to rise up. And so what do you think would be and what do you think's happening and what do you think is pushing people down and what should people develop like to be able to rise up and to feel amazing in their life?
Okay, good. So there's an ability that the moment that you lose that ability, you actually start to go down. And this ability is native for the person. And in order to lose that ability, there is something that needs to happen continuously. And that thing is actually what rob you from that ability. And the moment that you lose that ability is actually you become stupid. Your IQ goes down. Um, you just get lost and you don't get the expected result, and it seems like the whole world is against you and you have bad luck, and things goes bad and you get anxiety, you get all kind of problems out of this one problem, just one problem.
Now I'm so
Uh,
curious. I really want to know.
Yes, and the reality is that it's quite easy to fix it once you realize what it is and how it works. And but this problem is so important to realize, and it's so hidden when you lose it that it destroys you. So what it is when you lose your ability to observe, when you lose your ability to observe, you will start to fail.
Okay, ability to observe. I feel like you mean something precise there.
Let me explain what do I mean, lose the ability to observe. Um, if you see an elephant and you think that it is an ant, you obviously going to act stupidly. Yes. If you
Yeah, yeah.
see if you see a snake and you will think that this is a nice doggy, you will have a problem, I think. Yes.
Yeah, you're not able to recognize what it is.
Exactly. So if you see something happening around you and you think that it's dangerous and it's not, you will act stupid. And if something is dangerous and you don't think that it's danger, then you'll act stupid. So, for example, you have, let's say, you have someone, the government, let's say, and you trust your government, and your government is actually bad for you. You will act stupidly because you cannot observe that the government is lying to you. And the opposite, if the government tells you the truth and you think that it lies to you, you will also act stupidly. So
What do you mean?
the inability to observe is actually what makes you stupid. It's what rob you from your IQ.
But what do you mean by stupid? Like I feel like that word gets tossed around like, "Oh, you're so stupid," or "Oh my gosh, she's stupid." There's a lot of different ways that word can be used. And what do you specifically mean? Like, can you describe the version of
Yeah,
stupid you're talking about?
yeah. Stupidity is a condition where your own action bring your demise. Your own action cause you damage.
Okay, so like for instance.
So for instance, if someone convince you, let's not get to if it's right or wrong, yes, but let's say that the masks are bad for you, and someone convince you that the masks are good for you, and you do not observe, you don't go and look at the data and say, well, okay, 1 second. So a normal breathing person take in good air and exert bad air, and obviously if I block it, then I reduce the level of oxygen, I make myself, I destroy my immune system, I make myself more susceptible to any disease, not only corona, so it's not so good. And obviously the virus is such a small particle, so this thing will not stop me. And even they say, well, but you will not put your spit through. But if you talk, there is wavelengths that going through. The sound wave is actually particles that move in air particles, and those air particles have the virus in them, so it's all nonsense. And I'm not talking about if this is true or false, what I just say now, but if you don't get that, then you cannot observe. Now the question is, how do you lose your ability to observe? Why you will not just know and be able to just say, this is true, this is false? Why you don't observe? Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
So there are two main reasons for a person to not observe. Two main reasons, and the moment that you understand the reasons, you will be able to step into the first step of handling the problem. Okay. And by the way, let's say just hi to Aaron. I see
Hi,
Aaron and
Aaron.
Della is here. Hello, Della. I love Della. Hi, how are you? And we have people that following us on Instagram.
All right.
And we have Stasia here. Yes, nice to see you. Amazing. Yes. Okay, good. So yes, and we have Amit. Yes, and Kagashana. I think I'm saying it correct. I hope I'm saying it correctly. And Swapna, hello. Yes.
I'm
And
just sharing
Ray,
it. So.
yeah, good. And Ray, Swapna, say hello to you.
Hi, Swapna.
Yes. Okay,
He
good.
paused to say hi to you guys, and he was about to answer like the burning question on my mind. So I'm like super excited to hear this because I'm seeing, the whole society move in a certain way. So solve it, Mir, please.
So why is it happening? How come intelligent people lose the ability to observe? Okay.
They get in trouble. They get yelled at a lot.
Yes. So actually what happened is something that I call the snake. There are different kinds of snakes, and those snakes destroy relationships. And the snake that I'm talking about today is the guy that there are two types of snakes that I will talk about today. It's the same, they cause the same result, but I will talk about two kind of snakes. The first one is the guy that come to you. I'll give you a scenario and you will see how it plays out. So imagine that you have a business. Let's say that you have a business. You have a yoga business, okay? And you teach yoga, and you meet a guy, and he's a marketing guy, and he's going to teach you about marketing, and he spends a lot of time with you, and he shows you what you're going to do. And this guy's name is Bob, okay? And you decide to work with Bob, and you happily go to your friend Barbara, and you say, "Hey, Barbara, I just decided to work with Bob." And Barbara look at you and say, "Don't tell me it's Bob Goldberg." And you say, "Yes, Bob Goldberg." And he said, No, not him. He's the worst. He destroyed my friend. He is like really, really bad, and he is the worst. Don't touch him. He's going to steal all your money. He's going to promise you many, many things. He's never going to deliver. He is like the worst. Don't touch him. I'm telling you, don't touch him. Now, what happened with you at that moment? You lost your ability to observe, because you will operate in one of two ways. Option number one, you'll send an email to Bob and it says, I really like working with you. You're really nice, but I decided that I will take a different strategy and I think I will do something else. And maybe in the future we will work. And what you've done, you took the generality that your friend gave you, you accepted it, you become blind and stupid, and you acted, and maybe that Bob is the best person in the universe. But you did not actually go and check the data. Now, the second option, the more sophisticated option, is a person come and says, you know what? He's the spy. I'm calling him the spy. He says, I'm going to check how is he. I'm going to check him to see if what my friend, why? Because when you go to check someone, he's already, you're not actually telling him all the data. So you're going and you saying, well, give me marketing services, but you're actually spying on him to see if he actually going to do what you think he's supposed to do, or is what Barbara told you is correct. So you're actually spying on him. You're not actually working with him. If someone check you because of a hidden communication, he's not checking you, he's spying on you. Because anything that you will do, he will use to say, that's why you're doing it. Anything that you will do, he will say, oh, of course she's doing it because of that, because of what Barbara told me. Of course she said that because of what Barbara told me. So any hidden communication, when you check someone after you got a hidden communication, and that communication stay hidden, when you get a hidden report, and that report stay hidden, you will see that actually you're not checking the person, you're spying on him. And a spy is someone that goes against an enemy, so unbeknown to you, you already defined that he's an enemy. So you're spying on your enemy. He's not anymore your friend, your supplier, this person that's going to help you, but he's the enemy, and I'm spying on him. And what does spy look? The spy look for dirt. The spy look, how can I destroy you? And what you look for, you will find.
Wow. It's so insidious too. It's so insidious.
Yeah, and you will become stupid. Because the moment that you become a spy, the moment that you decided that you become a spy, you agree that you will not see the good in people. You agree to lie. You agree to hide. You agree to be stupid. And you will see that that's happened all over. That's happened all over. When people come to you and say, well, the government know, and the government don't give you all the data. Like, they don't give you all the data about the corona because they're hiding communication. It's not that there's some kind of a national secrets. They don't give you all the data, and they make total random decisions, and they make the decisions totally hidden, that you're not allowed to get them, that they're secret. Obviously, there is a hidden communication. Obviously, you are the enemy. Obviously, they are the spies. It happened all the time. It happened. I saw an organization that there was some kind of a committee, like it was an organization, and the managers assembled a committee of a few people to check another person. Like they say, well, this person was not ethical, and we need to check him, and so on and so on. So you've got this committee of few people, and they check this guy. But the committee get communication with the management that appointed them that this guy don't know about. Obviously, this thing will never be real. It's always, they're spying on you. They're not actually going to find anything in your favor. They cannot. Because they already decide they're spies. They're not actually trying to find the truth.
Yeah, I see it. Like, I'm like, as you're saying this, like, it's bringing a lot of things that you've said before kind of into clarity, as well as like how you relate to people. Like, one of the biggest like game changers in my life was when you explained to me about observation, and specifically like when you relate to people that, and you were talking to me about like psychopaths and sociopaths, and you were like, you gave me a beautiful analogy about how they're really not dangerous if you can see it, and then you begin to kind of create the relationship the way it was it changed my whole viewpoint. And so as you're saying, I realized that like this tendency in myself, I'm not saying it's totally gone, but it's improved so much with my ability to take responsibility in my relationships and decide to make them, instead of finding things wrong with the other person, to really just kind of not. Just like, it's
Yeah.
okay, but be really present with them, not like a way where I'm avoiding seeing them. And
Yeah.
it's like this thing, and trying to describe how that changed, it was really like something else came into focus and something else fell away is the best way to describe it. But like right now, as you're talking about this, that I've had that feeling before, like when you walk in and that people are spying on you, and you have this feeling, wait, what? And it's like it settles on you like hidden claws almost. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, now as you're describing this, I'm like associating with some other things. I'm like, okay, so that's that. That's that. And you just, when you spot it, you don't want to participate in it on either end. You don't want to do
Yeah.
it, yeah, and you don't want to have it done to you because it's just like this. That feels like icky, like claws or, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So basically, the problem with that, the problem is not. So for this person that you spy on, he's always going to be found guilty because he's an enemy. Anything that he will do, he will be found guilty. So the chances for his chances are almost zero. And for the person that doing the spying, he is also going to die because he is lying. He's doing something that he wouldn't want someone else to do to him. He actually doing something that he wouldn't want someone else to do to him, because what he will want if someone will come and talk badly about your business. You will want that person to come and say, hey, look, listen, this is what I heard from my friend Barbara. What's the story? And you will have an option to give all the data, and you'll give all the data, and the person will be able to decide based on the data, is it true or false, or what do we do? But not work with a hidden communication line. And you will see that when you are judged or handled by someone, and this someone is not the actual person that deciding, there's someone above him that decide, you have the same story. You understand? Many times you'll see, you'll go, you talk in the army. It happens a lot in the army. You talk to your direct commander, but he's getting his instruction from his commander that told him already that you are to blame. He cannot argue with his commander. So he's not actually handling you. You're talking to this talking head, but the actual person that you need to talk to is the person above him, but he's hidden. So you have a hidden communication line. There will never be good. There will be only destroyed relationship, only upset, only injustice, only badness. Any organization or person that work like that, the end result is an empty organization, stupid organization, stupid person. Stupidity, because what you do is you not actually in communication, so you operate on hidden communication lines, so you are actually blind. You are actually blind.
So when you say you're actually blind, this means that you're getting a communication from somebody else and you're not able to get an accurate communication from the person that you're blind to, the one that you're spying on? Or is it blindness for everybody?
It's blinding you. It's blinding you, the spy. Why? Because think about it. I told you, you agreed that something is really bad with me. Okay? Let's say it's me and you. Okay? And you spoke to a friend, to Tommy. Okay? And Tommy tell you, well, Meir is really, really bad. Let's say. And he's telling you Meir is really, really bad, but you don't tell me that. Okay? Now you're coming to talk to me when you have this communication, Meir is really, really, really bad, and you're thinking, no, I will check it. I know what I'm doing. I will check it. You don't check it. You don't check. You're spying. So at that moment, the only thing you're looking for is for something that will make what Tommy said correct. That's the only thing you're looking for. So what happened? You become blind because you don't see the full picture. You become blind. And never mind that our relationship will be destroyed. That's one thing. But from now onward, you've done something that you don't want someone else to do to you, and you become a magnet for shit. You'll become a magnet for problems. You'll become a magnet for people that will find fault with you, and you will not know from where. You'll be the most wonderful, and people will find fault with you. Why? Because you agreed to be spy once.
So how do you undo it?
Okay, how do you undo it? Two things. The first thing, you joined the Parent Academy, the Family Academy, what we used to call the Parent Academy, the Family Academy, and the link is on the screen, Meir Ezra, www.meirezra.com/family, or if you are on Instagram, simply go to my bio and click on the link in the bio. So that's the actual handling, but the immediate handling, the kind of thing that is not a full handling, but it is something that will put you a little bit more at cause. What you do if someone come to you with data like that, let's say Tommy came to you and tell you that, what you should do is come to me and say, hey man, this is what Tommy told me. Everything, and is all the dirt, all the anything, as uncomfortable as it is. And you tell me everything, and you say, look, this is everything that was said. Everything. I'm not leaving out any part, but you mustn't leave out any part, because if you leave up a little bit, even a little bit, because it's not nice, or maybe it's insulting to me, or maybe it's insulting to you, or maybe it is not nice, or maybe it's not polite. Anything you have to put on the table and to say, well, this is what I've heard, and I want to hear what you have to say about it. And I will tell you, well, Tommy said A, and A is true actually, and B is not true, and here is the fact. And once you get that and you look at that and you say, wow, I got a totally different viewpoint of what you've done, and wow, that's so amazing. And you will see that we will become 50,000 times bigger friends, and together we'll create some amazing thing, because I told you, this is true and this is not true, or everything is not true, or not important. I'll give you the thing, and you have a right to say, okay, show me a proof, and I can show you a proof. And once I actually prove it, and once you know it, then the next thing you do, you go to Tommy and you ask Tommy, so, Tommy, you told me that, and I know that you wanted to help me, but number one, this is the data. Okay? Number two, why didn't you go to Meir? Would you want someone else to do it to you? And now you help Tommy. And Tommy tells you, no, but I got it from Johnny. And you say, oh, good, so Tommy, you go to Johnny and handle him. And Tommy got to Johnny, and Johnny says, no, but I just invented it. And I'm not joking. It's happened many times that you go back and back and back, and you find that the source is just no, it's not what I said. You misunderstood me, which means I invented it because I didn't.
But then, like, okay, so at what point does it just become like gossip? Because it's like,
it's always gossip if it's bad. It's always gossip if it's bad and the person that you're talking about is not there.
Okay, right.
It's always gossip.
But then what if like someone's bitching about like, let's say someone's talking about you and I just don't care. And I just don't.
There's nothing like don't care. That's the lie. Okay. Let me explain why there's nothing like don't care. I'll explain to you. Because when you know me very well, and someone says, what Meir says is bullshit. And you know that what I say is not bullshit. Okay, let's say I talk about some subject and not a problem. You know 100%, so it doesn't affect you. You think. Until you do something against me. You commit some kind of a sin against me. Something that you don't even aware of it, that it's a sin. Now you say, I knew that is like that. And you think that you right now saw that what I say is wrong. And you make me wrong by saying, I knew it is like that. And you didn't know. Someone implanted it for you. If someone say to you, what does it mean to be a friend? A friend means that you will not entertain any bad things about your other friend. If someone will come to me, and say something bad about Gal and my son, and he's my friend, as he open the mouth to say something bad, he get two black eyes. Or I'll do one blue, one black, so it's interesting, yes?
Only two? But I mean, okay. So
I would not entertain it. As a friend, I would not entertain talking badly about my friend. Not entertain. My friend is my friend from the outside viewpoint. As far as I look at the outside viewpoint, he cannot do wrong. That's a friend. If he can do wrong, if a friend can do wrong, he's not your friend anymore.
Right. I understand. But what about in social situations? Like, how do you shut it down? Like, a lot of times in social situations that people will talk.
I'll tell you what I've done. I have a friend, a very good friend, and one of my other friends started to say about him. He just started and he said, well, you know, he's like that. And I said, really? Do you want me to tell about you, how you are like that when you are not with me? And he said, no, I was just saying that he's like that. It's a fact. I said, no, it's not a fact. There is never a fact that is one-sided. A fact is always two-sided. There's plus and minus. If he's not here, I don't know that it's a fact because I've seen your life, and your life has some ups and downs in them, which mean that you are not the best observer in the universe. So obviously you don't see correctly. And he's like, whoa, you are, whoa. I said, look, he's my friend. You're my friend too. And that's why I will not let you talk to him badly. But since you are here, I can get into you and punch you in the face. I will not let you do that. Because you are here. I can say anything I want. You can protect yourself.
I like it. Kung Fu fighting mirror.
Do you understand the point? The point is like you don't entertain someone talking about you, about your friend badly, not to start. As soon as they start, you shoot them. Shoot them.
Yeah, I think like I guess I'm just thinking about like my students in more polite cultures, like how they can, exit the conversation in a more elegant way without creating,
There's no elegant way. The purpose here is not elegant. The purpose here is to put ethics on the person. If the person start to talk badly about your friend, you cut it. And usually it's enough to have a look. So I can just have a look at someone and he will get dry and stop talking. But if he's not,
okay, good.
He will get me. He will get me because you will not talk about my friend. He's my friend. That's the thing about being a friend. You will not entertain anything about him. Your friend, even when your friend himself asks you to see something bad about him, if you agree at that moment, you stop being his friend. If you tell me, look, Meir, but I'm really not good in lifting my right arm. If I will accept that at that moment, I stop being your friend.
Ah, okay. That's fascinating. That's funny you say that because I find myself doing that in like certain interactions where someone will like put themselves down. I'm like, it's not true. And I just refute it, but like I didn't even think about that. Like I found myself doing that the last like month or two. I was like, no, it's not true.
So you're acting as a friend. Because an enemy, what's the difference? If you are not a friend, any moment that you are not a friend, you are an enemy. What an enemy find? Enemy find weak points to attack. The job of an enemy is to find a weak point to attack. So if I start to find weak points with you, I'm not your friend, I'm an enemy.
Okay, fine then. Okay, so this is super amazing. The original question though was really about like why people are feeling like becoming more and more stupid, unable to observe, unable to create their life.
Unable to observe because they get someone other than their own to be their source. If you accept anyone other than you to be your source, you at that moment become stupid.
I
No one ever. Let me explain to you why. Let me explain now. You know, the knowledge that we have in this universe, if someone other than you can give you knowledge, yes? Someone can know more than you, yes? But knowledge in the universe, there is so much, but knowingness, there is infinite. So you can think about knowledge as a speck of dust versus the whole universe. So when you make the speck of dust important and you not important, it's insanity. You become stupid. Knowledge is a speck of dust and knowingness is infinite. Knowingness is the spirit knows, and if someone other than you is the source, then what you say that the knowledge is more important than you.
Right. And I agree with you. And I love when you say this. I think that what I'm seeing though now in currently, like if you go on like a lot of social media platforms, is that everybody's saying no one can know anything except some ever skyrocketing, like higher credentialed expert. Like, you know, it has to be a doctor. Well, but not that doctor. It has to be like and you see like.
Whoever say that, whoever have that viewpoint already relegated himself to being stupid. Because
Right.
if someone says that the credential makes someone know or don't know, he's already stupid. What makes someone know or don't know is actually the results. Can they fix the problem? Not can they talk about the problem, not can they explain the problem, can they fix the problem? And for as long as they don't fix the problem, despite the doctor name in front of their name, that it does not make them smart. Let me give you an example. You know, in old days, there was lots of doctors. They couldn't fix anything, but they were good doctor. They couldn't fix the problem, but they were doctors. So why we can say easily that they were stupid? Because they didn't fix anything. So if you don't fix something, you don't know the thing. The fact that you can explain something or give your viewpoint about something, even if you're a doctor, for as long as you don't fix it, you don't actually know it. So if someone talk about the coronavirus, let's say, and for as long as someone don't come and say, this is how you fix it, everyone, without exception, is not actually knowing what he's talking about. If you cannot fix it, you don't know it. Now, me and you, as people that just normal people, the one thing that we know is this guy don't know. So
Yeah.
the one thing that you can do in that situation is common sense. Someone tell you, okay, you know, we need to isolate. Okay, good. We need to go into quarantine. And so you use common sense and you say, well, quarantine. Quarantine means we're going to flatten the curve. No one showed me that the curve is not flattened. But okay, let's say that we flatten the curve. You want to tell me that a country like the US that can go and build a whole operation overseas in Iraq and in Afghanistan and in this place and this place cannot put together 5,000 hospitals if they want? Of course they can. So it's not the why.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
not
They can put
the
together
why.
concerts for
It's
millions.
not the why. It's a lie. So you use common sense and it's a lie. Someone come to me and say, Israel, well, you know, Israel cannot afford to have 2,000 people that or 10,000 people that will be sick. Really? If there is an attack tomorrow, there is a war tomorrow, the estimation is that there will be 50,000 people that will get hurt and need to be in hospital. So how do you plan to do that? Well, we're planning to do that by creating hospitals very quickly, blah, 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 and handle them. So there is a way to handle them. So we are not under attack. There is no bomb. There is no nothing. If someone can tell you that the reason we're going to destroy the economy is because we worry about hospitals, bullshit. Give me the money Give me the money that we
I
lost
can
in
handle
the
it.
last
Yeah,
6 months. I'll fix it. Don't worry. All the
I'll fix it.
hospitals, I'll fix it. Not a problem. Give me all the billions that has been. Not a problem.
Exactly.
Easy, easy. Okay, so that's not the why. You start to use common sense and you see it's not true. There is something else.
Yeah.
One thing I know, I observe, and I never, never, never rely on people just because they have ranks or some kind of a certificate on the wall. Because I've seen through many, 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 many years and through history that people that used to be doctors, when I look at what they say, I'm saying, oh my God, they were so stupid. How could they, how did anyone believe them? Just common sense will say that it's not true. But there was no common sense. And
There's no
people
common
believe
sense.
that stones can be the God. And people believe that, I don't know, that if you do a special stand, then the God will be in your favor. And people believe that in Africa that a special dance will bring the gods to be in your favor.
That one's
And
true. That one's true. That one's true.
that was true. And then some people thought that if you burn children, it will make rain. And some people thought that some doctors, very really real doctors in Bethlehem, thought that if a person is insane, you just have to cut him and to take the blood out. And when you take enough blood out of him, he will drain his insanity. And I know it sounds weird, but real doctors say that. Real doctors said that, and they did it. And then some other doctors said that if you would drown them, you will drown the demons. So they used to drown the patient, the insane patient, in an effort to drown the demon. And sometimes the patient died and the demon not, and sometimes it didn't die, and the demon didn't die also. So there was many, 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 many insane things that people do.
But now people think that because of science, because we have science, they use this word science.
There was always a science. There was always a science. 100 years ago, the science of 100 years ago, there was the golden age of knowledge. They thought that they had the highest level of modernization. And 50 years ago, they thought that they even more. In 1950, when there was a transistor invented after they used the vacuum tube, they thought, whoa, we can get to the moon by 1960. You look at 1960 today, it is like arrow and bows. They were stupid, 1960s. But they thought in 1960, we can get to the moon. We have a computer. Those computer was more stupid than a computer that on your watch today.
And that's exactly it. So how do people now begin to restore their ability to observe? Because what I see is like, I feel like everyone's kind of like playing dead. Like they're like, oh, I don't know, I can't know, nothing I can do about it.
Two things. Number one, look at the result of the people that talk to you. If you go to a coach and the coach cannot eat and he cannot finish the month and he doesn't have money for, I don't know, to buy at least a nice car, don't get coaching from him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Do you understand? If you go to a doctor that all his patients die, I would suggest to you not to go to see him. You understand? I really suggest don't go and see him. Yeah. So look at the result, number one. And number two, look if that person want to make you afraid. Why? People that know don't make you afraid. People that know can lead you, can actually give you confidence. People that don't know make you afraid. If you go to a teacher and the teacher know, you feel confident with the teacher. She or he will fix anything. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
But when you go to a teacher that make you afraid and say, well, it's so dangerous. It's like you're in a very bad situation. I don't know what will happen. I'll do my best, but I don't know. I cannot give you any guarantee. Who knows what will happen? The teacher, he's not a teacher. He's a charlatan. He's a liar. So someone that stand in the radio or in TV or on YouTube and show you big certificates, but no result, or tell you how much you need to be afraid, he's not a leader. He's maybe a broom, but he's not a leader. You understand?
Yeah, I understand. And the like certificates never, it's funny what you're saying because it never really like impressed me. I would always look at what the person does. Like when I went to study with somebody, it's always like what's the effect? And also the other quality that I would look for is how do they show up in their life? Like if you're actually around them as a being, like are they joyous? Are they clear? Are they concise? Is their language good? Are they kind to people? Like these general things that sometimes we
Accent.
overlook.
Don't forget the accent.
The
Do
what?
they have, do they
The
have accent?
Do they have an accent? I mean, very few have an accent as good as yours. Although my American accent, I think, is exciting for people not from here. So, 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 how do people recover? Like, begin to recover this ability to observe, to actually like take some responsibility to look at something in their own life and have their own perception about it, because I feel like this has been really taken away from people.
Yeah.
They
So the way to handle it is number one, to understand that what you're looking for is not knowledge. I know it sounds weird, but
You're not
what you
looking
look,
for more facts.
you don't look for more facts, you don't look for more opinions, you don't look for more knowledge. You're looking for to recover your ability to know. And you do that by not getting knowledge, but by finding what's true for you. Because every time you find a piece of truth, you delete many pieces of lies. Every
Right.
one piece of truth remove thousands and thousands of pieces of lies. So you want to recover your ability to know, and the only way for you to know is by finding what's true for you, which means the recovery of your ability to know is actually the recovery of your ability to assume the position of source and cause for everything.
I love when you say that. I'm on board with you. I think that's really hard for people to really confront, because it's been taken away from them so much. And like, how would you, like, what's the baby step in that direction? Like, I'm happy to lead and be like, all right, I'm the source. But
Yeah,
what's
I'll
the
tell you.
yeah.
I'll tell you. First of all, what I'm telling you is never what you want to hear or what is easy. I'm telling you what's you need to hear. Okay? So by hearing it, already you will have a switch. You will already have a switch. And the baby steps is join the webinars that I'm doing.
Your webinars are not baby steps. They're like
They are baby
segmented
steps.
live. We could call them baby steps as marketing, but they're
No, there are baby steps. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why there are baby steps. Because what I give is things that the spirit automatically recognizes truth. How do I know? Because we have 200, 300, 400 people on a webinar, and people may not understand what I say, but they know it's true. Something shift in the universe. Even if they didn't get the whole thing, and that's why I say in my webinar, in my lesson, don't write down. What I say is not important. What's important is, did you remove something? Did you recognize truth that removes something, and then you have your own viewpoint?
Okay, so you have one of these Saturday at 11 a.m., I think. Eastern
Yes,
Standard.
Saturday we have the Family Academy, and one thing for sure is that when I talk, for example, about family or business or whatever I talk about what you need to know.
Well, this
And
was
you
a
will-
lot about relationships, which I think is like so important in life. To know how to, because our life is really so much defined by the quality of our relationships. When you're fighting with people, or you don't have good communication, or there's no like love, that's a hard way to then go through life and be successful in anything else when you don't have healthy relationships.
Yeah, so true. It's relationship, but as I said earlier, what I give some basics. Of course, I align it with the relationship and with family and children, blah blah blah, because we're talking about the family academy. But the reality, what helps you, is not the data. Really, what helps you is not the data. What helps you is those things that you recognize as truth and move something, some furnitures in your head, and at that moment you are willing to give up some nonsense, some lies, and at that moment you become more you. So all I'm doing, why, like, you will not find me giving you, well, or very seldom I'm telling you what you do. You do 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and what you need to do is have a routine or something like that. I would never tell you that.
You don't do that at all. I enjoy your lectures so much because it's also something like it's my profession. So why do I like yours so much? Because I recognize how really like what a beautiful skill set, what an art you do in your lectures. Like it's not just like, well, let me show you the things and follow this and this. No, 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 no. It's like somehow you bring like this magic in, and for me, I'm like, oh yeah, wow, oh that was what. And I watch how you put the whole thing together. And I've been, studying with you now for a bit. And everyone, I'm like, how's he gonna do it this time? How's he gonna? So for people that like, if you like podcasts, if you're watching this, you like podcasts, you like lectures, like listening to Mir talk about any subject, guys, it's like very magical because it's such an art that you bring to the way you put them together, and for me, it's such a pleasure. So it's definitely not routine. It's definitely not A, B, C, 1, 2. No, nothing. Like the whole time, people are like, "What? That's life changing." Like, and here's this thing. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So what I'm doing, thank you, and what I'm doing in those lectures is actually, even if there are 400 people, I talk to each person, and he gets something that he needs to remove something. And I continuously said to people, look, don't write what I say. It's really not important. Because if you write what I say become important, and you become not important. What you do is you change your viewpoint, and all of a sudden you'll find that you just know what to do. You just know what to do. I spoke today to someone from Switzerland, and he called me and he says that he has some issues and whatever. And he told me, look, I've been studying this kind of material for 20 years now. And I had a lot of realization and cognition and this, but my life really didn't improve. And I'm studying with you now for about a month and a half. And it's the first time that I actually have money. And the first time that my boss told me that I'm doing so well. And the first time that I actually started a business and I'm actually doing it, I'm not just talking about starting a business, I actually started it. And it's the first time that I actually can observe for myself and decide what's right for myself. And this is after 20 years of studying some other very good things. I'm not saying that those things are not good. Very good thing, but the way that I'm teaching is by deleting data, not adding data. And I think that every other place that I saw, they try to give you data and tell you, well, we know, look how important we are. And I say, I know, for sure I know, but you know at least as much as me, if not more. From your viewpoint, you know more than me. Just you need to realize that you know. The data is not important. The moment that the data is important, you say that the knowledge, the physical universe, which is a small thing, is important, and this potential, which is you, is not important. It's nothing. It cannot be that both are important. It's this or that. So the more you believe in science, the less you believe in you.
The new religion, like I would say, it's always changing. So what we say is, we might change it tomorrow, and that's totally fine because that's what science is. You can't know anything. Nothing's stable. And I was reading this, and I'm like, oh my gosh! If you look at not like it's science versus religion, but if you look at science and the way people are using it as like another religion, and you see that they just have created a justification for every protocol, like. Oh, well, it's science. We were just experimenting, even though we told you 100% this thing is true. Next week we change it. But science, that's how it is. And I'm like, I'm reading this and I'm like, this is the feeling. I'm like, where to start? where does, oh my gosh, science has become a new, like this is like like, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, must go for a walk. I'm like, I can't even unravel that because it's
Yeah,
such like a total justification of anything. It's just like,
yeah,
what science? But yep, you have to believe us.
yeah. Yeah, it's quite amazing. It's quite amazing. Okay, we need to finish.
Yeah.
It was really, really nice to talk to you. I want to just show some of the comments. So Amit says, that's so true. Thank you, Mayor. And Mariah said, I love this conversation.
Yeah.
And Amit again, wow, such a good way to know who my friends are. And Anita says, so true. And the Facebook user said, that's so awesome info. And this is what Avi Budara had to say from Israel. Avi is amazing, unbelievable person. And this is Swapna, wow. And Eva says, good question. And Vijaya say, hi, Meir and Ray. And hi, Meir and Ray. So, okay, so everyone, thank you for joining. Oh, Lara is here. Look, oh, hello. Thank you, I love you. So nice to see you, Lara. Yes. And Carmen, wow. Hi, Carmen. So nice. Yes, thank you, Meir and Ray, for this amazing lesson. Thank you for joining. Pedro, hello. This was amazing. Love how you are a friend. Yes. Thank you. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for the people that watching us on Instagram. Please follow me on Instagram, Meir Ezra Official. Follow me on Instagram. The link for the Family Academy is on Instagram on my bio, and it is here right on the screen, meirezra.com/family. And I really want to thank Swapna and Amit that helped always so much, unbelievable. And we have more people here. Look, Ashley is here, amazing conversation, so nice, Ashley. Yes, love, eliminating gossip, yes. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. And Amit and Swapna, thank you. And Ray, beautiful, love the hair, love the scenery, love everything, love the conversation. Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. I will see you in a few hours. We have the inner circle. Okay, love you. Bye-bye. See you on the Family Academy, everyone. Bye-bye.